This week on Inside MHS,
Tribe TV has set their sights on state competition.
Mississinawa High School is preparing for the annual SAT Day.
And Mrs. Little and the junior class are frantically prepping for this year's prom.
All of that and more on this week's Inside MHS. Welcome students and staff to Inside MHS. My name is Parker Monin.
And I'm Cruz Gabbard. Parker, last time we saw everyone, it was before Christmas. It's been a while. What have you been up to?
Well, I was working on an IASB competition. It's a video and media broadcasting competition in Indiana, and I was working on a short film. Sadly, it didn't work out, but I still had a lot of fun just doing what I love. What about you?
Oh, I had a great winter break, and it's been good. Yes, and we will talk about what IASB is later, but during that time, Wyatt Mullinex created a training video for our school.
Yes, Cruz. He spent time recreating the red, yellow, and green policies video to help us understand what we do in the event of an emergency.
We hope we never have to use these in real-life situations, but we always need to be prepared.
Check out this video to learn what you need to do in any situation.
Hello, Mrs. Sinowa. My name is Wyatt. I'm a junior here at MHS, and I'm here with you today to run through the red, yellow, and green light procedures you need to follow in case of an emergency. In the event of a code red, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to close the door, make sure it's locked, and then your next step is turn off the lights. Now, your next step is going to be, you're going to find a dark corner or place in the room, and you're going to crouch down and do your best to hide yourself away from any doors or windows. And then your very last step in this is to stay quiet, so you can hear any instructions from administrators, teachers, or hopefully the police. Now, let's say you're in the hallway, right? You hear the code red sounds. What you're going to want to do, first thing, is you're going to duck into the nearest classroom and then close the door, all right? Now, let's say you hear a code red happening and you're in the bathroom. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over here, into a stall, all right? You're going to want to get in here quietly as you can. Get fully on top of the toilet, okay? To where you're not visible under the stall. And then you close the door and stay quiet. Let's say it's time for you to be in the gym, right? Maybe you're shooting hoops, maybe you're lifting weights. But let's say you hear code red. What are you supposed to do? What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go into the locker rooms. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl's locker room. Right now is an emergency, and that should not be hindering your safety. Now, the code yellow is relatively simple. That means that the threat is outside of the building and we don't want them to come into the building. During a code yellow, no one is allowed in or out of the building without explicit permission from our principal. Other than that, your classes will resume normally. In case of a code green, which could happen because of a fire, gas leak, maybe a bomb threat, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to line up at your teacher's door, single file. And then you're going to follow your teacher's instructions until you are finally out of the door and safe. Remember to move calmly and quickly, because that can hinder your fellow student's safety if you don't. And then, once you're outside, move to a safe distance away from the building. And then, once you're done, stay quiet and listen for your teacher's instruction. Now, this video is coming to an end, but your safety shouldn't. Remember, stay calm, move quickly, and listen to instructions. Knowing these codes can help keep everyone safe. Mississinawa Community Schools. Informed, prepared, ready.
Thanks for watching. Again, it is never a bad thing to be prepared.
Now it is time to go outside the tribe.
Throughout the week, the East Coast has been struck by a massive snowstorm once again. With the majority of the damage taking place in New York and New Jersey, the storm has gotten so bad, power in the areas and travel is being shut down and halted due to the storm. Things like basic road travel and airports have been canceled and halted due to the storms, and nearly 500,000 businesses and homes have lost power due to the storm. However, there is some good news to this story, as projectors are expecting the snowstorms to calm down very soon as they move away from the New England coast.
The 2026 Winter Olympics ended this past Sunday. As competition was difficult, Norway topped the medal table, dominating in skiing, biathlon, and Nordic combined. The United States followed, excelling in freestyle skiing, snowboarding, and hockey, and won 33 total medals, while the men's and women's hockey teams capped off the Olympic switch gold medals each. Host nation Italy finished with 30 medals, with strong performances in speed skating, alpine skiing, and snowboarding. The Olympics were hosted in Italy, with events held in the cities of Milan, and now Los Angeles has its turn as we turn our eyes to the Summer Olympics in 2028.
Welcome back to InsideMHS.
This year, Mississinawa High School held its winter formal. The dance was small, but it did allow all 4 grades of Mississinawa High School to participate. With food and drinks available, all the students had what they needed to dance the night away. A photo booth allowed students to remember the night for years to come, while they warmed up with hot chocolate with the hot chocolate bar. Although it turned out well, Miss Ballage and the team were nervous before it started. Did people want to come?
I don't think it was challenging. I think it was just getting students to want to participate and be there. I think once the students arrived at the dance, they had a good time. But it was just trying to get the word spread that it was going to be a good time. I think it ended up being fine. But yeah, I don't think it was very challenging so much as it was just trying to get people on board.
With it being a success, we will now wait to see if Mississinawa will continue to hold a second dance before prom to the calendar. Maybe a homecoming dance? Guess we'll find out next year.
The Indiana Association of School Broadcasters, or IASB, The Indiana Association of School Broadcasters, or IASB, is an organization that supports high schools and college campuses, while also promoting digital excellence. Each year, there is a competition that consists of many different genres of media creation, which is celebrated by an awards show, along with a conference. Mississinawa, Tribe TV, and Capstone have entered the competition in hopes to get more eyes not only on the students, but onto the school itself.
Yeah, IASB, I think, is going to be really big for our program in general, just allowing our students to compete at the state level and create videos that they may not have created before, and just get recognition for the skills and talent that they have.
Good luck to our Tribe TV students. The awards ceremony is on March 10th. Let's go.
This coming Wednesday, March 4th, is SAT Day. All juniors and anyone else taking the test will be in person on that day, and everyone else will have an e-learning day. Be on the lookout for what room you'll be in and who your proctor will be, which is usually listed in the cafeteria. Make sure to arrive on time before 7:30 that day so you can grab a breakfast. Let's all do our best and make the school proud.
Over the weekend on Saturday morning, fire crews from Gas City, Marion, Swayze, Mill Township, and Center Township were called out around 6:30 to the Marion VA Center. According to the Marion Fire Chief, the building in which the fire originated, the sprinkler system had been turned off due to renovations that were ongoing. The fire caused one building to collapse on itself, but thankfully no injuries were reported. Scott Leas, a public affairs officer for the VA says that due to suppression efforts, there may be a temporary loss of water supply to the main campus. In response, there will be bottled water and hand washing stations placed throughout the campus.
Next up is our teacher highlight. This week we are highlighting Mr. Olvaney.
My school year's been going good. I really enjoy my students. I'm feeling more at home and comfortable in the Miss Senawa setting. I'm getting to know students. I'm getting to know faculty members. I feel more comfortable, and I feel at home here. I'm enjoying the school year so far. Highlight for this year is getting to see my past students. I appreciate when past students come back and visit me, whether it be in the hallway or my classroom, say that they miss my classroom, say that they miss me as a teacher. I feel like I've built relationships that go outside these walls, and I enjoy the relationships that I've built with students. I feel like I feel comfortable with them, they feel comfortable with me, and I feel like it's an accomplishment for me. I learned that there was a baseball coaching position here, and I also learned that there was a health teaching position, both of which I do. I was ready to move from Marion schools. I was ready to move out of the elementary setting. I felt like I connected more with the older kids, a little bit more mature kids, and I wanted to take a step up in my coaching career. So this was the perfect fit. I couldn't be happier, and I'm proud to be a Miss Senawa Indian.
Recently, Mrs. Little in the junior class announced the theme for this year's prom, Never Grow Up, themed to be in the world of Neverland alongside Peter Pan. Make sure you get your pixie dust and fly into this year's dance. You do not want to miss the food, drinks, music, and fun that will be had. Make sure to also stay for the after prom party with games and prizes. Ticket prices are $15 for singles and $25 for pairs, and will go up by $10 after spring break. If you have a date who does not go to Mrs. Senawa, make sure you talk to Mrs. Little to get them approved for entry. On April 25th, we will see you in Neverland.
This week's Tribe TV highlight is our very own anchor, Parker Monin.
My name is Parker Monin. I've been in Tribe TV, if we're counting just the Tribe TV class, 2 years. But if we're counting principals and all of that, I think 4 years. Because I was in the 8th grade middle school class with you and some of the others. I think I want to go to Ball State University and get a degree in something media. I'm not completely sure yet. I'm not exact on any of that, but I want to go to Ball State. I really enjoy it. It's honestly gratifying because of the work that I put in Tribe TV. It helps motivate me to keep doing well, and it helps me push other people to do well in a field that I love. As a kid, I always loved like movies and things like that. And I always loved making skits and videos on my own time or with my friends. That's what got me into it. That made me love doing video, editing, all of that. Yes, I will be returning next year in Tribe TV. It's going to be my final year. I'll be a senior. It's going to be great. I'm excited. You should be excited too. Mrs. Senawa's very own Callan Little has been awarded the prestigious Judges Award of Excellence for his multimedia piece, Marsh's Madness and Cope's Calamity. This marks a historic milestone. It is the first artwork from Mrs. Senawa to receive a Judges Excellence Award at St. Francis University in the competition's 51-year history. Congrats to Callan for making this historical achievement.
This year, club photos will be taken on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. This means each group will be all called to the auxiliary gym for their group photo. Make sure you communicate with your club director about the day and time, and if you would like them to wear anything specific to the picture.
I don't even want to be here. I probably won't even show up to club. I don't even think I'll get this reading done. I don't even like basketball.
Welcome back to Inside MHS.
Let's now shoot it over to Wyatt to give us the lowdown on this weekend's weather.
Hello, I'm Wyatt here with the weather for this week. Today, we're finally getting the sun back out, along with it, finally warming up a good bit, getting up to 41 degrees. Thursday is projected to be warm and sunny, but there are also talks of an upcoming snowstorm on the East Coast, which is already beginning to hit cities like New York and New Jersey insanely hard, with snow coming up nearly 2 inches higher over there. Finally, on Friday, it's projected to be similar to Thursday, being warm and sunny if the snowstorm does not hit us that bad. With Friday getting up to 40 degrees, and finally, for the weekend, Saturday is projected to be really warm, reaching up to 56 degrees for the high, with it still being sunny. On the contrary, though, Sunday drops us right back down to being chilly, with the weather being cloudy and being at a low of 36 degrees. And that's all for this week's weather. Back to the desk.
Thank you for that, Wyatt. Let's now go into the huddle with Will James with a recap of the most recent athletic events.
Thank you, guys. We wanted to congratulate Ian McVicker on a phenomenal season, going undefeated with a record of 35-0. Ian won conference, sectionals, and regionals. He was preparing to make his run to state when an injury derailed the end of his season. Congratulations, and let's see him make a run next year. With the boys' basketball season winding down, they recently competed against Grant County rivals, the East Brook Panthers. After being up 16, they ended up losing by a score of 59-55. Leading the way for the Indians was Trent Van Lanningham with 16 points, Ravion Fetch with 13. This loss drops their season records to 5-15. 2 more regular season games are left against Manchester Squires and Purdue Broad Ripple. The Indians are getting prepared for their first sectional game this year against New Haven on March 3rd.
Thanks for bringing us into the huddle, Will.
Make sure you join us next week when we check in on the boys basketball team and their sectional run.
Also, we'll talk about what we are looking forward to most going into spring break.
All that and more next time on Inside MHS.
And if we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.